Hello and welcome, guys, to another episode of Zebraman, also known as the People's Podcast. We are in Parktown to visit a man I got to know at Vets Choir through the passion of music. Graeme Wilkinson, thank you so much, man, for joining us.
It's a pleasure seeing you. It's really good to be with you again. Haven't seen you in ages. So thanks for the call. It's good to be with you.
Yeah, man, we've done music together at Vets Choir. It's a space of passion. Have you been keeping in touch with some of the members and the choir?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things I've heard them say that the university friends you keep for life, eh? And especially with the choir friends. So there are quite a few that I've kept in touch with over the years. And I'm very pleased to say I still sing, although I sing with a choir in Pretoria called Palisanda Chamber Choir. So that keeps me sane. With all the things that I do in life, that's my one go-to place to keep me keep me balanced.
Wonderful stuff, man. Wonderful stuff. The Vets Choir, man, kept me sane when I was a student. The love of music. We even taught and we went outside, not even South Africa only, outside of the continent. The choir has been a special place for all of us.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Today we are here to talk about the world of CSIs, particularly the work that you do with Tshikululu, a social investment company. Please tell us more about the work that you do within the space of CSIs.
It's so interesting, Senani, you were saying a bit earlier that people don't know about this industry. When I was at WITS, I was doing humanities. I didn't know that such a thing as CSI existed. I didn't know, it really wasn't on my radar at all. Although when I look back, it was actually the choir that introduced me to CSI for the first time. I remember going to it was the fundraising office at the university because we were trying to raise funds for a tour to Namibia.
Yes.
And there was a consultant who was working, he was consulting to the Wits Foundation office. And he
Yes.
sat down with our proposal and a pencil, and he went through our proposal for funding and he tore it to shreds and he made us rewrite it about 4 times.
Wow.
And
Yes.
many years later, I came to know that he used to work for the Anglo-American De Beers Chairman's Fund.
Wow.
So he knew what it was to be on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
To receive funding proposals. So he was
Yes.
consulting to the Wits Foundation office, helping academics mostly, but also choir.
Yes.
Choir to put together a funding proposal to say, hey, we've got this this thing that we want to do, and these are the benefits to society, and if you're interested, we would love to have you support us, kind of pitch, and
Yes.
he helped us to frame that, and we did secure some small donations. So it was very interesting in that process because there was a high net worth individual who gave us some money. I don't know how he found this guy.
Yes.
A TV company gave us some money. It was small, but it helped us make the
Absolutely.
tour possible.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I then went to go and work in a bank, as one does.
Yes.
And years later, another university friend who didn't sing in the choir, but a good friend of the choir's, phoned me up and said, hey, there's this job opening up where I work. I think you should apply. This job looks like it's just for you.
Yes.
And it was this interesting marrying of all the banking that I'd been doing and the finance stuff. And I'd gone and done a diploma in property finance,
Yes.
and marrying that with the humanities that I'd studied, sociology, psychology, economics, that kind of stuff. And pull those together into this, and I didn't even know this world existed, even though I had touched it a little bit in my life, but I didn't realize. It's the world of corporate social investment. And that's, as you can see, there's the social and there's the investment come together.
Yes.
Here at Tshikululu, we called Tshikululu Social Investments, NPC, we're a not-for-profit company.
Yes.
We are not an investment firm, so we're not competing with Alan Gray or any of those kind of
big companies.
Big companies that are investment managers.
Yes.
We're a social investment firm. So the social investments are those sorts of investments that someone makes with the intent of achieving some kind of social return.
Yes.
So an investor, in a normal commercial investor, would be investing in something so they can get money back. And maybe you give 10 Rand and you want to get your 10 Rand plus 25% back, and then you'd feel like you made a good investment.
Yes.
With social investments, you might not ever expect to see any money back. You just want to see social returns. So
Yes.
improved health, improved education, improved livelihood outcomes, improved arts, culture, and heritage. There are a number of different things. Also, environment. You might want to see environmental outcomes. So we are, in essence, a sophisticated grant management firm. So we help our clients who are not just corporate social investment entities, but also charitable trusts, philanthropic trusts, community trusts. Many of our clients are structured as trusts. There are certain reasons why they do that, for legal reasons and for tax reasons.
Yes.
Although you need to have quite a lot of money for a trust to make sense, because the trust can be quite expensive to run. But if you do have, and some of our clients are, so for us, a client is normally it's a board of trustees of like a community trust, for example. If they've got 20 to 30 million Rand coming into their accounts for whatever reason annually, then it justifies having a trust, and for them to then direct their social investments in a very professional way. And we help them with that. So we do the administration, we help them with the strategy, we help them then implement the strategy, and we also help them manage the monitoring, evaluation, reporting, and learning as well. So that's part of what our world's all about, is how do you direct investments to be able to achieve optimum social returns. And that's what we do. We help, and they range. Currently, our clients include, one of our biggest clients is actually an endowed group of trusts. They're called the Epoch and Optima Trusts, which aren't very well known, but they're actually investing, one of the biggest investors in maths education in South Africa. And they're looking to change their strategy, and we're working very hard with the trustees there, because they're identifying, as many people have, there's this crisis in our education system where 80 to 81% of grade 4 learners in South Africa are unable to read for meaning in any language.
Yes.
And that's a major challenge. Only 19% of grade 4s are able to read for themselves and understand what they're reading, whether it's mother tongue or in any language. The other 80, it should be the other way around. By grade 4, we should be 80% of the learners should be able to read and understand what they're reading, even if it is spot, throw the ball, spot, fetch the ball. But
Yes.
grade 4s aren't. Yeah, so it's a major challenge. Something's happening in our education system, and how do then a community trust? So if you're a community trust that's linked to a mine, for example, out in Postmasburg in the Northern Cape, and your trust gets a little bit of money because they get a share, maybe 1% of the profits of the mine coming to the trust once a year, and then the trustees say, okay, we've got this 10 million Rand, we're supposed to support the community. How do we do that? So we help them with the strategy to say, okay, do you expect 10 million Rand every year? Some mines, they are in commodities where the price goes up and down, and so the trustees have to be very careful about, this year they can have 10 million, next year they'll have 2 million. The next year they'll have 8, and so it might go up and down if the gold price changes, or the manganese price changes, or whichever commodity it is. So we help them think of a strategy that they can do some basic stuff that they do constantly for many years and slowly grow. And in the years when they've got lots of money, they can do some new things that are once-offs that support the core focus. And then in years when they don't have so much money, they can stick to that core focus of theirs. And it could be, in many cases, it's around education, but it could also be livelihood, so helping people to learn marketable skills and to start their own enterprises, to get their own hustle going, so that they're no longer dependent on family and on the state and others. They can actually make their own money and slowly grow the economy in the communities that they live. But we also support, some of our clients just do bursaries. So they just want to find quality students who are in need. So students who qualify for funding. And some of our clients, they only focus on STEM, like science, technology, engineering, mathematics. they're only interested in those kinds of subjects and sponsoring students to do that kind of work. Other clients, they don't care. It could be any subject as long as the learner comes from Western area, where the mine is.
Yes.
So they fund any student that does any subject as long as they're passing, and they get, they get into university or to University of Technology or a TVET. And they're not getting funded by anyone else like NSFAS or anyone else. So, and their family is a family in need, then they could qualify to apply for this bursary. And then we help them, the trustees, define all of those things. What are the criteria? Then we act as the post box so that people send applications to us. We have to go through the applications. Is that, the supporting documents are all in place, proof of address, proof of identity, certified copy of academic results. We have to go through all of that kind of stuff. Make sure that, when people say they've attached supporting documents, we have to open every one of them to check, because maybe they sent us a picture of their poodle instead of their academic results or whatever. And prepare, shortlist, and then take a list through to the trustees to say, these are the ones that meet your criteria. You can decide which ones you want to fund. The trustees make that decision, and then we then come back to the office, and we then have to start with the contracting. So there's a whole lot of those who didn't get funded. We have to send them, sorry, you didn't make it.
Unfortunately,
we can't proceed with your application.
Yes. Try next year.
Try again next year.
Yes.
And those that are successful then have to go through a contracting phase. So then, there's contracts have to be signed, proof of bank account details, or if it's a university, then it would be getting confirmation of the outstanding balance, and then, we make sure the payment gets to the right person or the right entity. We make sure that there's all of the tax, because many of these are structured as tax exempt grants. And so you have to keep good records for the SARS, because they don't like to give out tax exemption just for fun. So there's lots of requirements. And then we track if it's a student that's being funded. And some of our clients will include all sorts of things, like if you get funded by them, you get a laptop, you get accommodation, you get food, you get stipends. Other clients have only got enough money for tuition, and then the rest you're on your own. So it depends on the client and how much money they have.
Yes.
Facilitate all of that, and then track and monitor over the year how things are going, and report back to trustees, normally on a quarterly basis, because they want to know that their money is beginning to produce those social results, social returns. And so some of our trusts would like to be able to say, and with the beneficiary's permission, have a picture to say, here's Sanele who got a bursary from us, and look at him now, he is now an astrophysicist working at